problem number 9. It says find the x and y intercepts of negative 3x plus 9y equals 18. So I'm going to begin by first writing my equation underneath. And since all of my answer choices begin with the x-intercept, I'm going to begin by solving for x. Now, if I want to find an x value, that means I need to get rid of the y's. So I'm going to scratch out the y. I'm left with negative 3x equals 18. And to get rid of that negative 3 in front of the x, I'm going to divide everything by negative 3. And I have x equals negative 6. So my x-intercept is at negative 6. And the only one that has that answer choice is C. So automatically I know that my answer has to be C. Number 9, write an equation of y that has the same slope as 2x minus 5y equals 12. So if I want to find the equation that has the same slope as that equation, I first need to figure out what is the slope of that equation. To find the slope, I need to start by writing the equation in terms of y. So I need to solve that equation for y. I draw my line and I circle my y. I want that on a side by itself. In order to get it by itself, I need to subtract 2x from both sides. And I'm left with negative 5y equals 12 minus 2x. To get rid of that negative 5 in front of the y, I need to divide everything by negative 5. And so I'm left with y equals 12 divided by negative 5 plus 2 over 5x. Right away, I can see that the number in front of the x is 2 over 5. Therefore, my slope is 2 over 5. And the only one of my answers that has a slope of 2 over 5 is A. So my answer has to be A. Number 11. Which graph has a slope of 0? An easy trick is if you ever see a flat line, you can make a Z out of it. So for example, if I'm looking at answer choice C, using a flat line, I can make a Z for 0 for it, and I know that my answer has to be C. Remember, straight up and down is undefined. A line that is simply just horizontal, like this one, can make a Z for 0, so that's 0. Number 12 is a bit tricky. In number 12, I'm told that the table shows the number of swimmers in the ocean at a given time. Find the rate of change for each time period, during which time period did the swimmers increase at the fastest rate. So I need to find the rate of change, I need to find the slope for each one of these time periods. And so the top one has to be x, and the bottom one has to be y. I'm going to begin by finding the differences, the change in the x's. From 10 to 12:30, 10:30 plus 2 hours would give me 12:30. 41 plus 14 will give me 55. 12:30 plus 1 gives me 1:30. 3:30 plus 2 gives me 5:30. 55 plus 9 gives me 64. 64 plus 6 gives me 70. And 70 plus 10 will give me 80. Remember, slope is the change in the y over the change in the x. And so the rate of change between 10:30 and 12:30 is the change in the y, which is 14 over 2 over the change in the x. that's equal to 7. The rate of change between 1230 and 130 will be the change in the y, which is 9, over the change in the x, which is 1. 9 divided by 1 is 9. The rate of change between 130 and 330 is 6 over 2, which is 3. And the rate of change between 330 and 530 is 10 over 2, the change in the y, which is 10, over the change in the x, which is 2, and that gives me 5. I'm looking for the one that has the fastest rate or the biggest rate, and that's 9, because I only have 7, 9, 3, and 5. 9 occurs between 1230 and 130, so my answer has to be A. In number 13, I'm asked to find the rate of change. I'm asked to find the slope. And I'm given 2 points. Anytime you're given 2 points, you want to start by putting them on a table. From 4 to 12, I have to add 8. From 2,400 to 2,000, I have to subtract 400. And so again, slope is the change in the y over the change in the x. So this would be negative 400 over 8, which is the same thing as negative 50. For right away, I can already see that the answer is either going to be A or B. So I'm going to cross out C and D. Now, I'm going to interpret what slope means. Not just what it is, but what does it mean. If I'm looking at the change in the y, the change in the y is measured in terms of dollars. So I have negative $50 over 1, because negative 50 is the same thing as negative 50 over 1. And the change in the x is measured in weeks. So over 1 week. I apologize for the handwriting, but this is the best I can do with the tablet. Okay, so I have negative $50 per 1 week. So let's look at our stresses. The slope means that the amount of money in the account is decreasing. And I'm like $50 every week. That makes sense. So let's look at B. The slope means that the amount of money in the account is decreasing at around $50 every 2 weeks. That does not make sense because we have negative 50 over 1, not negative 50 over 2. So our answer has to be A. Number 14, we are going to use this table to find the x-intercept. Anytime I'm looking for the x-intercept, you should already know that y equals 0. Looking at this table, we see that we do not have any zeros on the y column. We need to find the 0. I can see that every time I add 1 on the left, I have to add 2 on the right. In order to get a 0 on the y column, I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to subtract 1 on one side, and that means I have to subtract 2 on the right side. 2 minus 1 is 1, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So my x-intercept, which occurs when y equals 0, is 1, 0. So my answer is C. Let's look at number 15. I'm trying to find the y-intercept. The y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. Looking at my table, I see that I do not have any zeros on the x column, so I need to create one. Every time I add 1 on the left, I have to subtract 3 on the right. So I'm going to work backwards. Instead of adding 1, I'm going to subtract 1, and instead of subtracting 3, I'm going to add 3. 1 minus 1 is 0, and 9 plus 3 will give me 12. So my y-intercept, which occurs when x equals 0, is at 0, 12. So my answer is A.